Hi traders, Nathan Bray here from ACY Securities. Well, breaking news, the inflation data, the CPI data, year on year has come out from the UK. It's blast through the expected figure. It's right back up at 8.7%. Okay, so the UK and the Bank of England do not have inflation under control. A bit like Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon and the rest of the Australian cricket team at the Ashes. The only thing that the UK have in Ashes at the moment is that the inflation is burning their money in their pockets. So how is the UK or the Bank of England going to get this inflation under control? Okay, so the next couple of days, we're going to see them decide on a rate rise. So at this stage, it seems like if they really are going to fight inflation, that is a foregone conclusion. So we're looking at a rise from 4.5% to 4.75%. So keep an eye on that, folks. I'm looking at if we're looking at the pound dollar, okay, if I look at the other side, we've got a scenario where the US has risen rates to 5.25. So even on a carry trade, they're still in front. However, their annual year-on-year inflation rate is down at 4%, while in the UK now it's at 8.7%. So even if they're rising, they may not want to, they just may have to. So what I'm looking at here is the pound against the US dollar, and I'm seeing a really strong, potentially overextended pound. So I'll be watching this 128 level very clearly and seeing how the market does react, because we could be seeing a lot of this price action being factored in at this point. But to give us a full technical breakdown is our own senior market strategist, Duncan Cooper. Hi, Duncan.
Hi, Nathan. Well, as you know, pound is in a very strong trend. These are your monthly charts, which we were negative last month, and I was thinking we were moving back below 124.48 because we were closing below it. But of course, things have reversed to the upside. So weekly trend here is up. And when we actually moved above this 124.48 level through here, I was thinking there's this imbalance here, and we could be moving up to fill that area there. And the imbalance is really from moving up to the 130 level. So this upward move that we're having, we could well see a move up to fill that imbalance at 130. We keep going. Now at the moment, we're just holding short of 128.54 weekly resistance. We can see this is an uptrend on the weekly chart. Higher top, higher bottom now, a bit overextended. And the most logical place to look for a pullback is this top here at 126.79. All right, 126.99 is a 4-hour level. So as we move to the 4-hour, there's a 4-hour level there. And I've been monitoring this range. 72% lines up with the 126.79 weekly top here, which is last month's high. There's another range you could monitor as well, which is the range of last week. That would get us below that area of support. That's why I'm using this range, but you could be monitoring that too. So I'm just waiting. Hasn't had much of a correction yet. The problem with these large moves up is price doesn't have to correct, but from a technical perspective, when we haven't yet had a 62 or 79% correction, in my mind, trying to get long at the moment when we haven't really corrected too much, I always feel like we're too high up. I don't want to be buying too high up and then get caught with a price moving against me. So I'd much prefer to not have the fear of missing out and looking, there's a 62% area here, which starts at 127.10. You've got 4-hour support at 126.99, pretty much the figure, 12700. Then we got weekly support over here, which is last month's high. That's the real strong level, 126.79, and the 79% fib there at 126.73. So that whole area there is an area I'm watching the price to move down to and offer what I would, in my mind anyway, think that price is at a discount price down, a pullback for another move up. In my mind at the moment, I'm feeling that this is at a high price. It's not at discount. And yes, whilst it can move up, it's a little bit low probability of success. Price pulling back to this area and holding and then turning around gets you the opportunity of trading at a lower price to maximize your profitability to move up and retest 128.54. Okay, so that's where I'll be watching at the moment as the CPI data comes in tomorrow. Other than that, I'm just watching that at the moment. I'm not prepared to be entertaining up here, even though it could move up from there. Now we can have a quick look on the 15-minute chart if you're wanting to entertain it today. From the 15-minute chart perspective, we are definitely seeing 1, 2, 3, even 4 stabs there at the 128 level, and it's holding. So it would seem that we have a downward pressure towards that support area that I was discussing, maybe, because 128 at the moment is very hard going. We're not wanting to be above. So really, if we are moving down, it would be a counter trend trade. 128 at the moment is definitely offering resistance. So if you could see a tight entry against that level, maybe you could be trading down in line with the intraday price action there. But for me, I would just be waiting for the lower level. I'm not that fussed about trying to short something that's in a strong uptrend. I just like it to pull back to a lower level and look to trade in line with the trends.